All right, welcome back, everyone. I'm Shane, and on this episode of Storm Shadow 75, we are going to be taking a look at G.I. Joe Classified Series Zartan. So let's get them out of the box and let's have a look. Okay, so now that we got them out of the package, let's take a quick look at the box. So here is the box here. As you can see, I don't have the plastic sleeve that he comes in inside, so which therefore, as you can see, there's some really good artwork on the side here of the box, or the front of the box, and then on the side you have him with the devilish grin as he is taking off that mask that he wears, you know, to give himself his cover, you know, his disguise. I'm sorry, that's the actual word I'm looking for, his disguise. And then on the back, of course, you have the box art, which we've all seen before, and there are a couple new things, like everybody is pointing out. You have Beachhead, you have Zartan, you know, you have Firefly up here, you have the Vipers, you know, you still have the Ninjas. So, you know, the funny thing about this box art is they're just going to keep adding new characters to the back, you know, as they go along. But where are these guys up here, man? Where are those Alley Vipers? That's what I would like to see. Where are the Alley Vipers? We're getting these new paint decos of these guys. We're getting all this stuff, but no Alley Vipers. Where are the Bats? Where are the Crimson Twins? I mean, they're going to make them eventually, but still, it would be really cool to see these guys. I mean, the Vipers, you know, and the Cobra Island Troopers, so on and so forth. You can't get, like, Major Blood's coming out. Like, you know, that'd be cool. And we had a Storm Shadow, but it's not the regular Storm Shadow. Where's that Storm Shadow at? I mean, we have 3 different variations of Cobra Commander, 2 different variations, and they're coming out with a 3rd of Snake Eyes. We have 3 different variations of Roadblock now, and Scarlet and Duke, you know, they have their 2 different variations now with the color variations. So, yeah, it'd be great if I could just stop saying variations. So anyway, whatever. So that's the box art, and then you have, he's number 23 in the series. And then, as you can see, you have a bit of the Dreadnought emblem here. And that's it for the box. So, as you can see, the Dreadnought's insignia here is, of course, let me zoom in on this bad boy. Right there. That's great. It's Cobra. It's actually a skull of Zartan's face with some vampirial teeth, with some swords going through it, or knives going through it, I should say, with Cobra's actually on the handle. That is really, really cool. You know, a little Dreadnought thing that they have going right there. Whoop. So that's a nice little Dreadnought symbol. So then you have Zartan himself. So before we get into the actual figure, I figured we could take a quick look at his accessories and what he comes with. So I'm going to start with his little accessories that plug into the side of his belt here. And one is the monkey's paw, if I can get this to focus. Let me just put my hand here. All right, so you have the monkey's paw, which I don't remember him ever having this in the cartoon. But hey, man, this is a cool addition to it. Zartan has always been one of my all-time favorites, man. He used to come with his swamp cycle, which was awesome. And I never had the chance to, you know, own the swamp cycle. I own Zartan, but I never owned the swamp cycle. So this here is a Cobra Head, a snake head, I should say, not a Cobra Head, but it's probably like a rattlesnake or something. But as you can see, the mouth is all painted nice and pink in there, which is actually cool detailing right there that they did. I really, there we go. Really, really like that. It has the fangs hanging out. And then you just have the snake head. Mine looks like it has a little bit of a something right there by the eyeball, like they tried to paint it white, which would have been cool. You know, the teeth, if they would have painted them white, would have been cool. But anyway, they didn't, so whatever. And then here is his gun. You know, his classic standard gun from back in the day. If I am not mistaken, somebody will probably comment on there saying that I am. But anyway. And then you have his actual, this backpack. And the old one used to come with this as well. So as you can see, it has a peg to plug into the back, and then 2 pegs on the side. Now, I really haven't had a chance, like I said, I just opened this thing. I haven't had a chance to really check them out. But okay, so this opens up. And of course, there's where the mask would go. So that, you know, and there's a little bit of red paint in there. So actually the face, as it's made, would go in here. And that's a classic little face that he came with when he came with back in the day. And then you just put it on. And you know, the funny thing is that, you know, he has that hood. I always thought that was his hair. In the cartoon, I always thought that was his hair. And you can see all the little different materials inside and detail inside the backpack here that actually shows on how it's made. Kind of Mission Impossible like, right? Which is pretty cool. So, and we'll get into this face and how it goes on here in a second. So then you have the figure itself. Let me just back this out some. All right, so here you have Zartan himself. Let me see if I can get this camera to lower down a little bit. Sorry, guys. There we go. That's good, right? That should be pretty good. Be able to see the whole figure himself. All right, so here is Zartan in all his glory. And they really kept him to his actual, you know, back in the day. He's got his little scarf around his neck. And then, you know, he has his hood, as you can see, and his belt. And then he has that demon print right there on the belt itself, which actually looks like something like Danzig. It looks like Danzig's, you know, emblem. If you guys don't know who Danzig is, they're a rock and roll group. A heavy metal group, I should say, right there. That's actually really cool. All right, so then we get to, you know, his armor on his legs, his knee pads, his shin guards, and then down to his boots. Very well done as far as sculpt and paint. Nice throwback to the actual figure. I mean, even with the lines going through the shoulders there, it is fantastic. It would have been cool for when you put him in sunlight that he changed, but they'll probably come out with another variant version of this guy, and he will change color at that point in time. And as I said, this hood comes off, and then you just have the bald head, kind of reminding me of Shang Tsung in Mortal Kombat. In one of the Mortal Kombats, I think it was Mortal Kombat 3 or 2, something like that. He came back with this kind of painted eyes, or not Shinnok. What's his name? I can't think of his name. The other wizard that's in the game, but that's who that reminds me of. But anyway, as you can see, his eyes are painted almost to a white color. They're almost like an off-white kind of bluish color. I'm trying to get that to come through. I don't know if it is or not. But yeah, and then he has this scarf right here, which is really neat. Which you can just pull this right off, and it comes right off. So you take the scarf off, and then as he's looking at you with his painted crazy eyes, you go ahead and just pop this bad boy on, and there you go. Now he looks like Shang Tsung without any eyes, and then you just pop this on, back on, and there you go. So now he just looks like yeah, he looks like Shang Tsung. That's who he reminds me of. I'm sorry, I keep saying it, but that's who he reminds me of. So, you know, the mask just slides right on. This is the other side of the mask right there. But pretty cool stuff. I mean, I think they did a great job with him. I think that Hasbro, once again, has knocked this guy out of the park. So, with taking a look at all of his stuff, let's go ahead. I'll leave the scarf off. I'll put his hood back on, which I always, like I said, always thought it was his hair. So there you go. Now you have Zartan with his hood back on and no scarf. So let's get into his articulation, and we'll go over that kind of stuff since we've already gone over the detail and everything. So this is really good. So as you can see, his head looks up about that far, and that's with the hood on. So if you actually take the hood off, can he look up further? Yeah, he can look up that far, and that's without this hood on. So you probably can arrange, you know, there you go. Just pop it back on, move his head where you want, and then move it. Looking down, he looks down that far as well, which is fantastic. All right. his arms with the armor here, which are, you know, attached to his armor. These the shoulder pads are, so they're not going to really get in the way. They're going to move, so you can actually move his arms out, which is really nice. So you got his arms that can go all the way out to the sides. He does have a bicep swivel. He has double jointed elbows, which you're just going to have to kind of move them a little bit to get them to go. Here, let me try this other side. Maybe a little easier. Yeah, so you're just going to have to kind of move them because he, you know, when he's new, they're just stiff. So as you can see, he has double jointed elbows. He does not have a bicep swivel, but he does have his wrist swivel, and his wrists, they bend. This one bends up and down, and this one here up and down as well. And his head can turn side to side. I almost forgot that one. He does have his traditional ab crunch here, and he does have a hip swivel. So he has his ab crunch that far forward and that far back, because then the knife actually gets, the knife sheath gets in the way. Then he has the belt that goes around where you actually would plug in to the peg holes here. There are two peg holes, one here and one here. I don't know if you can see them, but on this belt here where you would store the knife, you would also take the monkey paw and you can, you know, plug this in here. It goes in one or the other. So you just plug them into the peg holes and they go in there. Mine, I'm having kind of a trouble doing it. But yeah, you just got to work them in there a little bit. And that's where they go. So now, then you have, he can do the splits, of course, because these guys have the drop down legs. So you can get these guys into some dynamic poses, which is awesome. And he has double jointed knees, of course, so he can actually get this far up to the back here. Then does he has a boot swivel, which is awesome. And then his toe pivot that far forward, that far back, because the shin actually gets in the way. And he has a boot swivel, I guess you could say, you know, his pivot to the side. So now this guy is really cool. I got this guy off of BBTS. I actually got him pretty quick. I got this guy. So I didn't get him through Walgreens. I hear he's showing up at Walgreens, and I hear he's showing up on GameStop. You can get this guy in a few different places. Yeah, so I'm missing something. I'm missing his knife. Oh, I forgot to take his knife out of the package. Look at me. So, anyway, yeah, I hear that you can get this guy over, so like I said, I got mine at BBTS. He's showing up in a few other places like Walgreens and GameStop, and so you're not going to miss out on getting this guy. It's not like the Target exclusives that absolutely suck, and then the workers that are doing what they're doing. And then here's his knife. I'm sorry, guys, I forgot to bring this out. So you have his knife, and it's just all casted in black, and then you have the little, you know, quigglies and place for his forefinger to go into with the knife. And yep, and that, my friends, just stores right back here into his sheath, which is probably going to be better than Snake Eyes'. Actually, wow, that's actually not wanting to go in there very well. All right, it's just a tight fit. There you go. And that's it. He's got himself his Crocodile Dundee type knife. So yeah, like I was saying, this guy here, he is awesome. I'm surprised I even got him already from BBTS. No, they are not a sponsor of mine. I'm just saying where I got them, and you too could probably get yours there if they're not all sold out. If you can't get them there, you'll be able to find them somewhere, because this guy is not going to be not going to be elusive like the others. So, guys, I just want to say, on a scale of 1 to 10, I give this guy an 11. I love him. He's awesome. It's a very nostalgic figure for me from when I was a kid. Let me put his pistol in his hand so you guys can see his pistol in his hand. And he does hold his pistol just fine. Yeah, I dig this figure. I think he's great. He's great for the collection, and I'm glad that you're able to get him. And like I said, I was surprised that I actually got him this early. Like I said, I ain't played with this guy. I haven't checked him out or anything like that. So, you know, he is being kind of a pain in the ass right now and trying to get his gun in his hand. So I apologize for that. So, yeah. Anyway, it will, I guess, you know, he can hold it like that. Kind of the way they used to back in the day. But there's his gun in his hand. I'll try to get his trigger finger in there another time. But anyway, guys, listen. Yeah, so nostalgic figure. I love him. He's great. By all means, get out there, get this guy, add him to your collection if you haven't already done so. And like I said, you can get him at BBTS. You can get him over at Walgreens. I haven't seen him in any of my Walgreens out here in New York. And I have not seen him in any GameStops either. But like I said, mine just came yesterday. So I'm grateful. So with that being said, I just want to give a shout out to our latest winner, which was Mary's Kitchen. They won a Google Mini. So congratulations to you guys. I haven't done a video in a while. So guys, like, subscribe, share, and leave comments down below on anything that you'd like to see. Hit the notification bell for any future videos that I put out. That way you get notified when I put them up. And I will catch you all.
100%. From 1 to 100, I give it 100. That was good.